Good afternoon, everyone. John McDermott here with the League of Uncommon Men podcast. Today I want to talk about 2 Corinthians chapter 4, and it continues Paul's letter to the Corinthians, focusing on the theme of ministry and the challenges faced by believers. Here's an overview of the chapter. In this chapter, Paul discusses the nature of his ministry and the challenges he faces as an apostle. He emphasizes the power of God at work in believers and the glory of the gospel message. Paul highlights the perseverance and faith of believers in the midst of trials. He contrasts the temporary nature of earthly afflictions with the eternal glory that awaits believers. Paul concludes the chapter by encouraging believers to fix their eyes on the unseen and eternal, rather than the temporary. So, regarding the treasures in jars of clay, Paul begins by acknowledging that he and his fellow apostles are like fragile jars of clay, carrying the treasure of the gospel within them. He explains that the power comes from God and not from themselves. Despite facing various trials and difficulties, Paul and his companions remained faithful in their ministry, knowing that the surpassing power belongs to God. Regarding the light of the gospel, Paul highlights the glory of the gospel message, describing it as the light of the knowledge of God's glory in the face of Jesus Christ. He explains that this light shines in the hearts of believers, illuminating the truth and revealing the glory of God. Paul emphasizes that the gospel is not veiled or hidden, but is open to all who believe. Regarding perseverance in trials, Paul acknowledges the hardships and afflictions that he and his companions face in their ministry. He describes being perplexed, persecuted, and struck down, yet not destroyed. Despite these challenges, Paul affirms his confidence in God's power to sustain and deliver them. He encourages believers to persevere in their faith, knowing that the same power that raised Jesus from the dead is at work in them. Regarding the eternal perspective, Paul contrasts the temporary nature of earthly afflictions with the eternal glory that awaits believers. He explains that the sufferings of this present time cannot compare to the glory that will be revealed in them. Paul encourages believers to fix their eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. To summarize, 2 Corinthians chapter 4 highlights the nature of Paul's ministry and the challenges faced by believers. He emphasizes the power of God at work in fragile vessels, carrying the treasure of the gospel. Paul affirms the glory of the gospel message and encourages believers to persevere in their faith amidst trials. He contrasts the temporary nature of earthly afflictions with the eternal glory that awaits believers, urging them to fix their eyes on the unseen and eternal. So I hope that information is helpful to you today, and I hope you can reflect and read 2 Corinthians chapter 4. There's a lot of good verses in there and good, powerful scriptures. So hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you again soon.